Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, thank you for the support. I really do appreciate the sort of contact and the feedback you guys leave me. I really do enjoy reading them and replying. So today I thought I'd have a little play with the Seasons Greeting decolarge from Hunkydory, released last week as part of their Christmas in July, and this is the much anticipated by me decolarge. I've decided to go with this Christmas rose. I haven't seen any samples of it apart from what's on the leaflet that's come through with it. I really love the oranges in it, the orange and brown, so I thought it'd be nice to have a little play with that. So I'm going to be doing two cards today. The first one I haven't actually made before this shape. I saw it on Pinterest and I've sort of done my version of it, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm starting out with a piece of card which you probably guessed it is 6 by 12. Okay, I'm just checking that I did do that to 12. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to put that onto my scoreboard, and my first score is going to be at 1.5, and then I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to do 1.5, 3 and 4.5. Bring that out of the way, and then I just need to burnish these down. So it's going to be Mountain Valley on those ones there, and then this one comes over the top like so. So the actual card itself will sit like this. I'm hoping once we've got all the layers on that it's going to sit up nicely for us. If not, we will back it onto a card if we have to. Okay, so that's the skeleton for our card itself. So let's start with, I'm going to go with the layer on the inside first of all. So you know, if you've been watching any of my videos, 2 notches under the 6. So just to get that layer there, and I've already previously on my guillotine cut the insert to 4 notches under the 6, and the only reason I do that beforehand is because this trimmer is a bit temperamental with the paper, so I tend to do that on my guillotine. So that's going to fit inside like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take a piece of card. So I've got this piece left over here, and I'm probably, let's see how much is that across. So that is 5.5 and a bit. I'm just going to bring this in and just bring that all the way around. So that is probably about 4.5. So let's bring this down to 5. Seems a shame to waste, but waste we shall. And we know our card is 6, so I'm going to bring this, I think, to, so what did we do that? Did we do that 5.5? So let's see. No, we did that 5. So bring that to 5. I'll grab my ruler. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. So 5 by 5. Okay, I'll put that for another bit later. So I need to do 2 notches under the 5. This is in the gold. Oops. So that's there. That's going to be fine. And I also need to bring in the backing piece here. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 5. Because I'm going to be decoupaging onto this part, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 5. Okay, and then that should fit onto our gold piece as well. Okay, so the other thing I need to do is 2 pieces for here and for here. So we know they are 1.5 by 6, so 2 notches under the 6 is fine that way. And then we want 1.5 minus 2 notches. Just trying to use up these bits. So that's not going to be any good. That's not going to be any good. Don't think that's going to be long enough. Nope. Okay, I might have a little piece of gold from the other day. So let's bring that in. So 2 notches under the 6 and 2 notches under the 1.5, and that should fit on there quite nicely. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this piece in here, and I'm just going to line it up with this side. So I need 1.5 minus 4 notches. So it's going to be around about there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6. And that should fit onto there quite nicely. I think that's wide enough. That way, yes. So 1.5 minus 4. And what I'll be doing is piecing this together onto there. That way round. And then I'll hide that join with a piece of ribbon. I think maybe a little bit of red ribbon. Okay. So what you could do beforehand, if you didn't want to do that, is just completely cut that border out beforehand. If I'd have thought about it, that probably would have been the smarter thing to do. But I can live with it as it is. So let's start to assemble. So I'm going to start with the gold. Let's open the glue. So this is the clout all purpose glue, which is the bit of glue on there. Let me just get rid of that. This is the sort of solvent based one. So just I always say just be careful with your Miri cards, because it can take, and anything with an actual special finish, it can take that finish off. Okay. I tend to not go quite so near the edge, and if, like in this case, I do want to have a little bit of quick stick, I just put a little bit of tacky glue in those corners, and then we can pop that in, just making sure that I'm not putting that anywhere near those creases, so that my card still folds up as I want it to. Okay, and then again, just with this insert, a little bit of the tacky again into the back of there, and then we're just going to pop that in nice and carefully. And give that a good press down, so I've got a little bit of strings there. And then you can see, even as it is, that is just quite a nice little image there. Okay. So let's do these borders. So I've got a piece of, I think I'll go with red to pick up those reds in that in those berries. I'm only just going to put one little one, and I think I will use my tacky glue for this, because I'm going to put that onto there. Just making sure that's nice and straight. And this will overlap a bit, but it's going to be fine. Let's just put that there. Just checking, so actually that should go around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it should go that way around. So I'm just trying to match up these flowers a little bit. Okay, so that one can go onto there. We'll give that a minute to dry. And I will do the same on here. Again, just a nice amount of tacky glue. Popping that on. And then into there. Okay, so I need a little bit of my red liner tape. Apologies, my camera is playing up again today. So I've got 2 bits of this super sticky tape. Just popping that over the side. We'll give it a little burnish down. And I could have gone with a purple or an orange ribbon with this, but I just had that red to hand, so I'm going to use that one. It's quite a nice green one, so, and it's quite a nice deep red as well, which I like. Okay, so we've got that there. And I think I'm going to put the ribbon one at the top, and it may get covered up a little bit by our topper, but I can still put my bow on there when we come to it. So just popping this onto that top piece. Again, using that tacky glue, because in a second I am going to be popping that topper on it. Just checking that is as it should be. Again, and I think it went that way around, yeah. So there doesn't seem to be a particular way that should be, this border. You could have it either way, but it's just a question of just trying to get both the same. Okay, so for this piece, popping it on, I'm going to put some red liner tape on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get away with 2 pieces of red liner, because I really want that to be quite secure. I think I might just about do. We'll put some tacky glue as well. Just pop this off. And it's sticking to me. Just pop a little bit of tacky on there as well. And we want this piece to be sort of in that middle, and I think that's, I can live with that there. Okay, and then I can mat this onto there. And for that I'm using the all-purpose. It's a bit like all fingers and thumbs because things are getting in the way, but it's there. And I'm going to put a bit of tacky glue in each corner. Oops. And then my all-purpose on there as well. And then we can pop that onto there. Like so. Okay. Okay, happy with that. So if I bring in the decoupage So obviously this decoupage is all designed to go on one of these pieces, but I'm going to rob some pieces out of it. So I'm going to stay away from these two pieces that are already rounded. So these bits are not quite as rounded. So I'm just going to pop those out carefully, and I have already foam pads on the back already. So I was a little bit more prepared than I usually am. So I'm going to use that one. So that one will go in next, and then I will take that one and take that one. And the beauty of these is that there are so many pieces, and they do match perfectly with the printed cardstock. So that's probably the most brilliant thing about the decoupage. So just pop in a few little bits out. I might come back and put some more bits on in a second, but once I've made my other card, but we will see how we go. Okay, so let's put these on. Oops, that's not one. Here we go. So now I just need to pop these pads off, the backs of the pads, sorry. And just look out as well for little landlocked areas like these here. So just need to gently push that through. Where are you? There you are. And my tip would be to push it back to front. So push it out that way, and then that way if anything rips, it's not going to take the push it front to back, sorry, so that if anything rips, it's not going to rip off the front, it's going to rip off the back. There we go. So again, just always with my pads, a little bit of tacky glue just to give us a bit of that with the time, bit of longevity as well. And then we just need to match these up. Apologies if I do get my head in there. And then next one. So this decollage is the one thing me and my mum never agreed on, because my mum is well, I think I've said before actually, she wants every layer to be on, and she thinks it looks best with every layer on, and I'm like, yeah, but I can make 2 cards out of that, maybe even 3. Technically you could make 3, because you could just use that as a standalone topper, the base of that printed, and then you could have this on maybe a die cut circle or a die cut shape, you know. But you know, we agreed to differ. Although she would say to me, oh, just make one up, just make one up with it all on. I was like, oh, alright. So I'd always pick her favourite one and just do whichever one was her favourite. She loved the frames that Hunkydory did, or do still. And you do the picture in the frame, and then it's actually like a proper picture. She loved that. Got one downstairs that I made for her with a country cottage that she just adored. So, alright. Okay, so that's where we're up to at the moment. So if I go back to the piece that we have here, so I've got a couple of other pieces that I want to use. So I'm going to use these corners because it's looking a bit sort of boring at the top, so I'm just going to use 2 of those, and then I think I want this one as the stopper because it's quite nice and big and long. So let's see how we go. So these ones I'm just going to pop on flat, I think. Just pop that into there. It just brings the picture more into focus, which is perfect. If you wanted to, you could bring it on the top and the bottom. And actually it might explain away that cut off point there, but I'm not going to do that because you're pretty much not going to see much of this bottom anyway because it's going to be under here. Okay, so let's just make sure those are straight-ish. Oops, no, gone on the wonk. Go. And then I'm going to grab some Hunkydory foam, not Hunkydory, some Crafters Companion foam pads, and I'm going to go for the thicker one here, and I'm going to put the foam pads quite, no, let's do that right way, let me just pop them off, sorry, I knew I had to do it, I knew I had to check and I still forgot. So I want these foam pads to be at the bottom of the actual sentiment, so I want there to be this sort of space at the top which is going to catch my topper. So I'm just putting a good amount along the bottom just to give me a good bit of support, or to give my card a good bit of support. You could use your foam tape if you wanted to. And then we'll be able to see how it stands. So, according to all the pictures I've seen, it stands really well. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so just a bit of tacky glue on. And then I need to make sure I get that in the right place because that has to prop that there. And I'm hoping it does stay up. Okay, so it's going to be difficult for me to show you. So that slots in, so it's like an easel card but not quite, and then that will hold the card up. Okay, so that's how it's going to look on a mantelpiece. Okay, so I'm just going to bring a little bit more of that ribbon in. Going to do a little tiny bow. I don't know if I want to put this at the top or at the bottom. Oh, I've lost my end. Bear with me 2 seconds. So I have got the bow maker there. I think it's actually a Glitter Girls one. No, Glitter Girls one. You might have a Hunkydory one, Crafters Companion one, there's so many. And I think there's lots of other companies that do it as well, just like little cross cut, that sort of thing. Okay, so let me just neaten those up. And then we can decide where we want this to go. So I kind of had been thinking that I would put that at the top, but we could really go anywhere. I mean, we could pop it in there, or we could pop it on here. There, so you're all at the indecision. I'm going to pop it onto that edge, so I'm going to use a little bit of just get rid of all this little bit of gunk. Okay. Just going to put a tiny bit on the back of that ribbon. I do prefer this chunky glue for ribbon, just because I tend to find like glue dots and things, they do tend to sort of come unstuck. So that's going to go onto there. And also throw some gems on the floor. I'm just going to bring in some of these ones as well, and I'm going to pop them. Just going to put 3 here, so they're going to be in the background. I think these are Hunkydory ones as well. There we go. So what I'll do now is just let that dry. But that's the card as it's finished there. You could go further, glitter, you know, anything like that would look lovely on there. But I thought that was quite a cute little card, sort of, I don't know what you would call it, sort of, I don't know, a stepper. It's not an easel, maybe a panel easel. I don't know, panel stepper, something like that. Anyway, it's a new card design to me. But I did see a picture of it with something else and I thought, oh, that would work well with the decolarge. So that's the first one done. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for the second one, I'm going to bring in a piece of A4 card. Got my trimmer handy. And I'm going to cut this down to 7 by 7. Let's just check how wide that is. Oh, it should be okay, I think. I'm going to move that one out of the way. We'll put that away for a second. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And I'm going to, I might say we're not going to be able to do it on the scoreboard. I've forgotten that I changed the size. So if I bring in my ruler, if I bring in a score tool or a ball tool, let's see where are they hiding. Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. And I'm just going to score this from corner to corner. If you've got space on your board, if you've got a 12 by 12, you'll probably be able to do it on there. But I'm just going to give that a good score down, and then hopefully that should fold in half rather nicely for us. I'm just going to give that a good brownish down. Okay, so that is going to be the start of our card. So from there we can bring our trimmer back. So if I grab a piece of gold, and I need to take this 2 notches under the 7, 2 notches under the 7. And then I'm going to cut this straight from corner to corner, and that should fit on there quite nicely. There we go. And then this piece here, so we did say, so we want it to be 4 notches under the 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 7. Let's get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. So just cut those berries off, and then again corner to corner. And that should fit into there quite nicely. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to grab another piece of spare white card. Hopefully this will be the one that was 5. So again, I think we can go 5 by 5. Let's have a little look and see what that looks like on. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. I'm going to want another piece of gold. Oh, where are you? So you are perfect. So 2 notches under the 5. And we'll just see how that fits on there. Just take a tiny little piece off there, just to even that up. There we go. And yeah, I think that's where we're at for now. So I do need something to go onto there, so we'll grab that in a second. Okay, so from that Woodland Christmas Story pad that was free from last year, there's this beautiful paper that's very similar to those berries. So I'm just going to take that down to the 4 notches under the 5. 4 notches into the 5. And I kind of thought those colours would also fit in quite nicely with what we're doing. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. I'm just going to take that down just a tiny little bit more, so maybe another notch on both sides, just because that border was so very narrow. There we go. So those bits obviously we'll save for another time. And you can use any of your little pads, you know, you've got all the little books, little duo books and things, so they would be perfect. So let me just wipe my hands a second because there was a little bit of glue there. I want that to go everywhere. I'll cry that for it as well because I've got a feeling that's going to go. Okay, so we're popping this on. And I've gone quite big with the 7 by 7 just because I wanted to make a bit of a statement with it. I have got glue on this edge, so just going to gently dab it. I've got away with it, I think. Right, let's have a look, see what that looks like when it's on there. If not, I can swap it for that other piece of gold that we have. That's fine. Okay. So I've been quite lucky there because it's smudged it, but it hasn't taken the gold off. It's just made it sort of look a bit brassy. So I'm not quite sure why there is glue all over my desk, but we will just go a little careful. And then that piece is going onto there. Probably should have put a bit of tacky glue on there because I am going to be popping this on, but let's do our next layers. This time And if you didn't have any sort of pattern paper that you felt would fit in, if you've got any of the Adorable Scoreable, you could always just put it on plain if you've got like a cream red, anything like that, or you could emboss it as well, you know, just for a bit of something. Probably something plain would be a little less distracting than what I'm using today, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so for this one I'm going to raise this bit quite a lot, so I'm going to use these Crafters Companion ones because they are the thickest pad that I have. and it's just because I really want that to stand out from that piece. All of my decoupage is with the 1mm pads. So I'll just pop this on, and then what I'll do is I'll get that stuck onto my card base before I go any further. And I kind of like, I think I said when I made this before, I kind of like this card in that, even though it opens backwards, so it opens like you would think the wrong way, but that's not a problem, it's just different. You've got like your triangle, your square, your circle, you know, it's got all of your shapes there, so it's quite pleasing to me. Okay, so that's there. So what I'm going to do, so obviously this comes onto here. I'm just going to hold that in place, move it up a little, put a gentle pencil line there. Then I know, put it across there, that I need to put my tape there. And I'm going to use the red liner because I want that to stay put. And I'll also use a little bit of tacky glue as well. So next time when I come back, I'm going to come back with this decollage again. And then after that, I am going to come back with another Christmas kit of Hunkydory, the Holly Jolly one. Because I have to have a little play with that. That is, I mean, that is stunning. And then after that we will go to either Spellbinders, because I did get the press, so it would be nice to have a little play with that. Just really nervous now, but where I've put the tape, and let's hope for the best. Yes, we did it. Okay, so that's going to stand like so on the actual side, so that's how that one works. So we'll bring our decoupage back in. If you wanted to, you could go a little higher, you could go a bit further over, because obviously this will have to go into a 7x7 envelope, so you've got anywhere within that to play with that square. Okay, so let's have a look which one is the bigger one. Let's put them both out and see, because they do look quite similar. I think it's quite nice to have these chocolate and chocolate orange colours on a Christmas kit, you know, so it's different, a bit fresh. I certainly haven't seen anything in the Hunkydory ones before with these colours, so it's definitely nice to see the different. I got a feeling that's the smaller one. Yes, it is. Okay. Oops. Butterfingers. So have any of you guys managed to get hold of the decollage, or is that something you don't do? I mean, it's hard because there's been so many nice things, and it's not like even stopped, has it really? Because they had the craft along with the club gift today, so that means that a new gift is on the horizon, and they haven't done their Christmas one yet, I don't think, because normally they do have a Christmas gift. So last year it was Bethlehem one, but there was like the it was the beautiful little bauble die, and it was quite sort of I want to say like Tunisian, sort of that sort of feel to it, but I can't remember the name of it off the top. It might be Peace on Earth, maybe, something like that. I did come across it actually the other day when I was tidying through looking for something else, so I'm just popping these little bits out. but I know I haven't used the die that I bought to go with it yet. I cut it out to see what it looked like, of course, but I've not actually put that on a card from that kit. You do need to play more. I did say at the beginning of the year I was going to play more and buy less. And, well, I think I have bought this year. Because I haven't bought anything. So I'm just popping those landlocked bits out. I haven't bought anything Crafter's Companion for a while. I do like some of the bits, but I think the trouble is with Hunkydory's brought out so many really nice things. You know, you have to sort of pick and choose what you're gonna play with, because you only have so much time, don't you? You know, and I definitely am more Hunkydory than I am Crafter's Companion. Although saying that, you know, I do love my dies. You know, God, I've got loads of them. So it started with I think it's Sizzix, you know, like all those years ago. Like my first die cutting machine was the Big Shot, which was when it had just been released. Let's cut my pad a little bit. Yeah, so that had just been released, and then I moved on to the Grand Caliber, and that was just released, and then the there was the Spellbinders bought out the big dies that used to cost like £30–40 pop, and you'd only get like about 6 in there. But they were like, that was the first time we'd had big dies like that brought to the market. So it's quite amazing how much it's changed the whole like card making industry over like just like my time of crafting. You know, prices and things. So, and I think Tattered Lace especially try to get those prices to go back up with sort of prices that are not price fixing, but setting a price which they were happy to sell their goods, which is fair enough, you know. We can do that. But there was, by that time, there were so many companies selling them cheaper as well, and then China got involved, and you know, you can buy a lot of the same dies, so they tend to make dies. A lot of the dies are made in China, and then they get copied over there, and you can buy them a lot cheaper on places like AliExpress and Temu. But then you're taking money out of pockets of the people that actually design these things. So my sister does videos with reborn dolls, and their industry, the reborn doll industry, has really suffered because of you know, China selling these, well, they're fakes, you know, they'd copy artists' work, and these artists spend, you know, months sculpting these dolls, and then they come along and make a sort of, sell them a lot cheaper. And of course, you know, everybody's struggling for money, you know, it's like, you know, and in a lot of ways it literally is the same product. It's just, you know, it's the designers that designed it aren't actually getting paid for it. It's just, which is sad, you know, that people's work, yeah, because people put a lot of time and effort into making these things, don't they? And then they're not rewarded for it, then at the end of the day they're going to stop, aren't they? So that's me. Rub it in on. Right, so that's all the decoupage off there. Don't know if I'm going to put it all on here, but we'll have a little look. So we've got some flowers, and I think that is going on there. And I've got this other leaf. Squirty. Into there. And let's see, that bit goes on to the end of there, our little berries. Stay still. Some more berries. Got this flower centre. Let's go in, grab my little tweezers. Let's make the most of those. Why are you not sticking? The butter has been taken off. Just need to wait for that to go off. It's just working around with these tiddly tiny bits. It's going to be there. And then what have we got here? So we've got a I might leave these bits because I'm not sure. I know that bit goes there, I think. No, that one goes first. And goes into there. I'm not sure on that one. I think it goes over here on this. Take the back off. It goes on this orange over here. And we've got this piece here. Where's this one going to go? I think that goes there in the middle. This is the hardest bit, finding where they go. In there. And is that? Oh, we've got this one, which is from this flower. And then all we need to do is find a nice little sentiment and probably a couple of gems. That one's going on there, like so. Sometimes the more you move it, the worse it looks. Okay, so let's grab that original sheet again. And we've got Seasons Greetings. We've got Joyeux Noel. And we have a little border there. We won't be using those corners. There is another little border there as well, which is pretty cute. So I'm kind of thinking maybe there. So I don't think I'm gonna go. That's too burgundy, and I've got no burgundy in there. I have got the green coming through in here. So let's grab some Crafters Companion ones. We'll put one on here, although it won't be quite flat. Okay, turn it around the right way. That's going to go across like so. Okay, and then lastly, I think I'm going to come in with some little gems. So these AliExpress ones. Okay, so I'm just going to open all of these up. Oops, she says, can she get into them? Yes, she can. And I'm going to do 3 on this side. And if I grab my picky uppy tool, that one's going to work as a picky uppy tool, but we'll give it a go. Okay. And the only reason I've decided to use these and not the Hunkydory ones is because I want to put some small ones on here, and it's just going to be easier for me to do that and keep all the colours the same, rather than using some Hunkydory ones and then using these ones which might be slightly brighter or slightly different. So that's why I've decided just to use those. So what I'm going to do is just go in on some of these. So let's do those ones first of all. I'm just going to use these tiny wee ones. Just want to bring a little bit of something. You know, we've put our topper on here with most of our decoupage, so I really want it to sort of be, I want people to know that this is the one, this is that card. So I'm just coming around. And these are the gems that I got from Temu. Each of these cases was 89p. Come on now. Oh, maybe I put no glue there. And I think they're supposed to be for nail art more than anything, but so to me it looks like I put glue there, but it's just the actual print. So let's put some glue there. And they're in a, these are in a little variety of sizes, but they're quite nice and bright. So there goes my phone. And I think it's probably, let's just do one at the top. If you wanted to, you could go around with these white ones as well, I guess. Really spice it up. Oops. Not going to waste any. Just because they cost us 89p doesn't mean we won't waste them. So that's going to go into there. And then the last thing that would go on there would be this insert. So I have cut it to just under the 6, but it's still going to be fine in there. I'm going bring in my school board. I'll pop that on my black line on the tips there. Just give that a gentle crease. Pop it over so that it matches. And we can give it a good burnish down. And I'm going to pop a little bit of tacky glue on this front edge. Yeah. And then what I can do is pop that inside, give it a good press down, and that will stick there quite nicely. And then this one will sit on a mantelpiece like so. Okay. So those are the 2 cards that we have done today. Just bringing that one back in. So this new sort of style one, which kind of tucks under, and then this triangle one. Like I say, next time I'm going to come back again with this Seasons Greetings with one of the other images. I'm 99% sure it's going to be the one with the donkeys, because that is my favourite one. And I do want to make a card with that one. But obviously let me know what your favourite is, if you've got it, which one you like. You know, obviously the comments are there for you to add in whatever you would like to know, any questions, you know, if there's any information that you need, then obviously just drop me a little line. I'll do my best to help. I'm not the most techie person in the world, so I can only give you my experience of working with tech if you've got a question about that. But crafting, I've been crafting quite a while, and I like to think I know a lot of things, not everything, but you know, definitely do ask if there's some burning question. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.